This video will show you how to modify an existing open case study for your own specific needs. By the end of the demonstration, you will know how to find the case study GitHub repository, clone or fork the case study, open the case study source files in RStudio, modify the source files, and finally, compile the modified case study. You can find the case study repository using the Open Case Study search tool on our website, which is located on the bottom of the web page, or you can find it by clicking on the tab. From here, you can locate the case study you want to modify and click on the repository link in the GitHub repository column. For this demonstration, we'll be using the CO2 emissions case study. If your case study offers it, you can select to edit either the static version repository or the interactive version. For this demonstration, we'll be using the static version. You can also find a link to the repository in the case study itself. From here, you can clone and fork the case study repository using git shell commands or the new OCS data package. If you don't want the repository's version history, you may also use the package to download the case study as a zip file. I will be using the zip file method for this demonstration. First, you'll need to install the OCS data package using the following command: install packages, and then in quotes, OCS data. Once that is finished, you now have access to all the functions available from OCS data. So if you would like to clone or fork the repository, you may use the clone OCS function. All you need is the repository name, which we get from GitHub. You would like to set the out path, specify where you want it to download to. We'll just use our current working directory. And finally, you need to specify if you want to fork or clone it. Set it to false if you would like to clone, or true if you would like to fork the repository. We will not be using this function for this demonstration. Instead, we'll be using the zip OCS function, which is structured similarly. We just need the repository name and to set where we want the case study repository to be downloaded to. We'll use our current working directory for that as well. So I'll hit enter. We'll automatically download a zip file of the repository. The function will automatically generate a random name for the directory, as you can see at the top here, but you are free to change this as you'd like. Once the case study project opens automatically, open the index.rmd file and scroll to the section that you want to edit. For this demonstration, let's say that we want to edit the data import section. So you can just type directly into here, my new content, blah, blah, blah. You can hit save. And then from here, you'll move to the knit dropdown menu. You can choose which format you'd like to compile your case study in. Any of these are fine. The Open Case Studies uses HTML files so that we may host our case studies online, but you can easily distribute your case study to your students in any of these formats. RStudio will automatically begin compiling your case study. And once it is done, it will automatically render a preview of your case study. In the preview, you can scroll to the section that you edited and see your new content in the case study. You can also see the compiled file in your working directory, index.html. This will say PDF or doc, depending on which one you picked. That's all you have to do to modify a case study. Thank you for watching.